Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where officers detained an innocent man and used excessive force on him, resulting in his death. And another case where an officer unjustly demanded a man's ID before assaulting and tasing him. On August 24, 2019, the Aurora Police Department received a 911 call about a suspicious man with a mask on allegedly acting in an erratic manner. The conversation was recorded. Let's hear it first.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
William Street, I think it's, Black Hawk or something like that. Let me check real quick.
Okay.
It's William Street and Black Hawk
Okay, is it Black Hawk Way, Black Hawk?
Street.
Okay, give me 1 second. Just repeat that intersection for verification.
William Street and Black Hawk.
Okay, are you sure you're not on, give me 1 second. Is it possibly Evergreen?
No, this is Aurora.
Okay, well, no, I understand that. I just don't show you anywhere near a Black Hawk.
It's Black Hawk Street.
Okay, just stay on the line. Give me 1 moment. I don't show you, what I'm saying is I don't show you anywhere near Billings and Black Hawk.
What about Billings Street and Evergreen Avenue?
Okay, that's where I show you near. Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from? And your name?
Juan?
And your last name, Juan? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
So there's a guy. He's watching the
After confirming the location of the suspect, who was later identified as 23-year-old massage therapist and musician Elijah McClain, who at the time of the incident was wearing a ski mask because he was frequently cold, the station dispatched multiple officers to handle him, one of them being Officer Nathan Woodyard. Mr. McClain was walking back from a convenience store carrying a plastic bag with iced tea when he was suddenly approached by Officer Woodyard.
Do me a favor, stop right there. Hey, stop right there. Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
Well, okay.
Turn around.
No,
Turn around.
actually, your hands, bro.
Turn around. Stop. Stop tensing up, dude. Stop tensing up, bro. Stop tensing up.
Let go of me.
Stop tensing up. Stop tensing up.
No, let go of me.
Stop tensing up.
No, I am an introvert.
Instead of first interrogating or conversing with the suspect, the officer immediately detained him. This action clearly violated Mr. McClain's 4th constitutional right, which states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized." As all the call mentioned was that the suspect was merely placing his hands up, which wasn't enough to be ascertained as probable cause for the officers to detain Mr. McClain. The claim of his constitutional rights being violated is further proved when looking at the circumstances warranting a seizure under the 4th Amendment. 1. The presence of handcuffs or weapons, the use of forceful language, and physical contact are each strong indicators of authority. 2. The individual mustn't ignore the officer's requests and walk away. Nonetheless, Mr. McClain's rights were violated when the officer immediately confronted him physically after he shifted his attention to them in response to being called out.
Please respect the boundaries that I am speaking.
Stop tensing up.
Stop.
Relax.
Stop. I'm going home.
Relax, or I'm going to have to change this situation. Stop.
Leave me alone.
Stop.
Can you please
No,
cooperate?
can you leave me alone?
No, we're gonna
First
talk
off,
to
you guys started to arrest me, and I was stopping my music to listen. Now let go of me.
Let's get over to grass.
Lay you down. Come on. It's not going to be an arrest. I intend to take my power back. And I intend to
We're going to go forward with him, okay?
I intend to be censored. Stop, dude. Oh, okay. Give us more. Give us some more units. We're fighting them. Stop, dude. You got him? Stop, dude. We got his arms. We got his arms. Yep, we got his arms. Yep. No, not yet. Dude.
Dude, just stop fighting.
Taser in a second.
You're gonna get tased in a second. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. You're gonna get tased. I've got his arm. Okay, hold on. You got that one out? Yep.
Stop, dude.
Get off the circle.
Relax.
Just relax.
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 During the struggle, the officers pinned down the victim's arms and handcuffed him after a bit of a struggle, going as far as threatening the use of a taser. After a while, multiple other officers arrived on the scene and kept the subject detained by throwing their body weight on him.
Stop.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I can't breathe correctly because...
If you can bend his knees a little bit so he can balance himself.
He's kicking around a little bit still, so he's going to sit on. Yeah.
I'm not missing mine. Are you missing yours? Yours is in the car, right? Your cell phone?
What's that?
Your cell phone is in the car?
I think so. Is it an iPhone?
What kind of drugs did you take? Red case?
No.
What kind of drugs did you take tonight? What kind of drugs did you take tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
We need to know, okay?
Good, brother.
Can you find sandy wipes for me somewhere, please?
We need to know what you were taking.
From anybody?
Okay?
Yeah, anything, please.
Are you listening to me, man? I'm asking
Good.
you what kind of drugs you were taking. Okay?
It's important to note that the reason for him being unresponsive to the officers' questions was most likely due to asphyxia. During the struggle, the police wrestled Mr. McClain to the ground and placed him in a carotid hold, a bilateral vascular restraint where pressure is applied bilaterally to the sides of the neck and the subject retains the ability to breathe. As such, not only was the victim incapable of speaking much, but he was also getting closer and closer to falling unconscious due to a lack of oxygen supply. As a matter of fact, it was because of such scenarios that the use of this maneuver was deemed illegal in most states in 2021.
I called him when he first went out.
And I don't think he went out, dude.
He was like halfway, I think, but hey, dude, relax.
I think he's trying to puke.
Oh, okay. Get it out, dude. Thanks, bro. Get it out.
Do you need to swap out so you can take care of that?
Nah, I'm good.
No, we got called to a suspect. He was out here walking around with a ski mask on.
So y'all need the cell phone picked up?
Probably just
yeah.
bring it over by him, dude. And then we contacted him, Green. He's wearing a ski mask. He started to kind of like walk away from us, so these two wrap him up. And
Okay.
Stop, dude.
well, chill out. You've already been told several times to stop.
I can't fix myself. Ow.
Hey, I know you're busy, but I just want to let you know that
Stop.
we had a suspicious call over here on building.
Dude, chill out.
He's got a mask on his face. That's kind of weird. Nothing really criminal. My officers go to make contact with him. He starts acting crazy, and they attack him. Rosenblatt, he ended up trying to put a carotid on the guy. And actually,
Well, stop fighting us.
Was able to put the carotid on him. They put him out. They were able to get him out of handcuffs. We're still struggling with him. I have fire on scene, and that's where we're at. I just want to let you know, yeah, we did actually apply the carotid tonight. So, hey, and the other one, I don't. Oh, you got him? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I knew you were busy. Just one other thing, we did have an officer get.
Yeah, that's all his, dude. That's what he was wearing.
It was used. Okay. It was very minor.
So when the ambulance gets here, we're going to go ahead and give him
All
some
the cops are
ketamine.
okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect,
I
dude.
appreciate it.
Perfect.
Thanks.
We'll give that a couple of minutes and then we'll put him on.
Whatever he's
Okay,
on,
all right.
Yeah.
he has incredible strength.
Yeah, crazy strength.
Ketamine, so.
I had him in a bar hammer behind his back,
Yeah.
and his arm was above his head, and he was still fighting.
Is there anybody that can relieve me for a second? Spitz! Oh, we need somebody just to... He did this thing, we're like, hey dude, this is not a big deal, just relax, and we sat there for a good 30 seconds just trying to calm down, like, dude, hey, not a big deal, we need to talk to you. And then he kept doing this, and he kept saying things that didn't make any sense. And then I'm like, hey, bring him over the grass, so if we do have to take him down, we can take him down the grass, not because we're right here by the rocks. And then he starts going even crazier, so we get him cornered against the wall.
What's he doing when he's acting crazy?
He's like saying stuff, and he's holding his arms in, and he's like, I don't remember exactly what he was saying right now, but just acting really strange.
Randy, you needed relief, buddy? Randy, you needed relief?
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna pat him down. Make sure
And then over there, Brody tells me to try to grab my gun, so we pull him down.
Yeah,
so he pulls his arm free and comes out, and I don't remember feeling it because I was focused on him. Yeah, went from there, and I don't know when this.
So, anything?
No. He just thought it was weird because he was wearing the mask.
Well, it is.
Gestures, yeah.
That's
So,
okay.
that's all of it.
I need to make sure you document that part.
Yeah, 500.
After keeping him in a dangerous position for this long, the officers contacted paramedics who arrived shortly to administer a powerful dose of ketamine to the victim, who was frequently falling in and out of consciousness. The situation is similar to an incident that occurred on March 31st, 2020, where California Highway Patrol officers pulled over 38-year-old Mr. Braunstein, believing that he was driving under the influence of a drug, after which they then tried to draw his blood. When he asked why they needed a sample, they threw him face down on a mat, and after being pinned for several minutes, he appeared to lose consciousness. These incidents simply showcase law enforcement's abuse of authority.
Okay. You want to give that before we... Yeah. So once he gets out here, I'm going to hit him in the right shoulder. You want some shears?
you want shoulder or?
Either way.
Ash is right here, man.
Okay. We'll give that a couple of minutes. We'll see if that works, and then if it does,
Yeah.
we'll go to the bed.
Just drag it right behind his ear if he fights, all right?
We'll give that a minute or two, see if that works, and once it is, we'll go ahead, if you guys are okay with it, we'll uncuff him, we'll go up with the right arm, down with the left, and we'll just restrain everything. We'll give that a minute or two.
All right. Hey, Woodyard, Rosie, here in a minute, once this medicine kicks in, we're going to uncuff him, put him on the bed, and then we're going to restrain him, soft point him to the bed.
No, you're okay. I got it. Let's go ahead and get him on his side, and we'll just uncuff him.
Let's get him on the gurney first. Okay. If we can.
Okay. So you guys want to do that?
Be careful.
Be
Yeah,
careful.
he's definitely.
All right.
Throw up on you guys.
So we'll put an end title hanging on to both.
Give him some light.
Got it, so we can have that ready too.
Do the right one first.
Hey, Woodyard.
Somebody grab this.
I got it.
You guys got them?
You can put them straight to the front. Good?
Yep.
Thanks, sir.
You good? Yeah.
Let's get in the side and just suction. Okay. Suction. Let's get him in right quick and we'll suction. Thank you.
Somebody's body.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. McClain's heart stopped on the way to the hospital, and he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving, similar to the victim in the case law who died later in the morning. The incident later received renewed scrutiny following the nationwide Black Lives Matter protest in spring of 2020, the result of which led to a grand jury indicting 3 officers and 2 paramedics in McClain's death in 2021. Randy Rodema, the senior patrol officer on the scene who restrained Mr. McClain to the ground, was convicted of criminally negligent homicide and assault, while Officer Jason Rosenblatt, who attempted an initial unsuccessful carotid hold, was acquitted of all charges. Next up, in May 2018, officers with the Rochester Police Department were instructed to be on the lookout for a certain individual. During the search, Officer Michael Sapel spotted a man who fit the description. The individual was later identified as Christopher Pate, and unfortunately for him, he was about to have a very unpleasant day.
ID? Do you have ID on you? Have a good day off. Do you have ID? Have a good day off. You could have just pulled that out. I do. All right, fine.
No, you don't need
to.
You have my ID.
Put your hands behind your back.
You have my ID.
There are two very important things that contradict the legality of the officer's actions. First of all, in New York, you are not required to carry ID, and you don't have to show ID to a police officer. If you are issued a summons or arrested, however, and you refuse to produce ID or tell officers who you are, the police may detain you until you can be positively identified. Second, if officers are investigating criminal activity, they're required to identify themselves and let you know the reason for the interaction. However, since the officer did not give a valid reason for his demands for ID, nor was the civilian issued a summons, the officer unjustly violated Mr. Pate's Fourth Amendment right. To be more specific, it was established in the 1968 case of Terry v. Ohio that when an officer observes unusual conduct which leads him reasonably to conclude that criminal activity may be afoot, the officer may briefly stop the suspicious person and make reasonable inquiries aimed at confirming or dispelling the officer's suspicions. None of this applied to Mr. Pate's scenario. Furthermore, even after giving the officers his ID, they continued to assault him.
Put your hands
I
behind
did
your
not
back.
do anything wrong to you.
Put your hands behind your back.
You have my ID. You have my ID. I ain't do anything.
Behind your
You
back.
have
Behind
my
your back.
ID.
Behind your back.
You have my ID.
Behind your
You
back.
have my ID.
What are you reaching for?
My ID. You have my
Put
ID.
your hands behind your back.
You have my ID.
Put your hands
You
behind your
have
back.
my ID.
Put your hands behind
You
your back.
have
You're under arrest.
my ID.
You're under
You
arrest.
have my ID.
Put your hands behind
You
your back.
have my
Stop.
ID.
Can't see that.
You
Stop
have-
resisting.
You
Stop
have my
resisting.
ID. You have my ID.
Detail 7.
My ID is on the ground. You
Stop
have
resisting.
my ID. You
Put
have
your hands
my
behind your
ID.
back.
Can I take off my boot bag, please?
Put your hands
You
behind your
have
back.
my ID. That's what I'm saying. It's on the ground.
Get back.
You have
Get
my
back.
ID. Please.
Stop resisting. Put
You
your hands behind your back.
have my
Or
ID.
7-1.
You have my ID. You have my ID. You
Put it
have
behind your
my ID.
back.
My name is Mr. Ray.
right.
You have my
Put
ID.
it behind your back. You're gonna get tased. You're gonna get tased. Get tased.
You have my ID.
You're behind your back.
Please.
Behind your back. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Please.
Stop. Keep them behind your back.
Resisting.
You have my ID. Please. You have my ID. I didn't do
Freaking
anything
yeah.
wrong.
You crossed the road and you were uncooperative.
Yeah, and you look like a guy we're looking for, and you won't show us your ID.
Officer Sipel beat the victim to the point that he was bleeding, tased him, and then handcuffed him. This was a direct violation of the use of force policy, which states, officers shall use only the amount of force that is objectively reasonable under the totality of the circumstances known to the officer at the time the force is used. It's also important to note that police and security officers have the duty to intervene to prevent or stop the use of excessive force by another officer when it is safe and reasonable to do so. In addition, state law requires officers to take action to intervene when witnessing a crime. This was something that the other officer on the scene, Spencer McAvoy, did not do, which made him liable for being complicit in Officer Sipel's crime.
Okay, let's make it 78 Bolton. Roll over.
Make a big thing out of nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
You have
punch in
my
the
ID.
face.
Can I take off my book bag, please?
We got your book bag.
You make this worse than it is.
Please. You have my ID.
Kidding me?
My ID.
Think this is what I want to do today?
I know.
Please.
You want to play stupid games?
My ID.
Unreal.
Break your leg in. Step up.
You have
Detail
my-
7-1. You can slow cars down. We're outside. We just need a boss.
You have my ID. Please.
He's gonna have a man.
You have my ID.
What's your problem? We have established. We have your ID.
What are you reaching
Jeez.
for that you won't put your hands
What is in your waist? What are you reaching for?
I have a lighter to light up my cigarettes.
Okay,
That's all.
Why are you being uncooperative? You would just stop. This would be nothing. This would all be over. But instead, you want to act like a clown. So you're going to jail for the pettiest of offenses.
Please, you have my
Not
ID.
using a crosswalk.
And not obeying officer command.
I didn't do anything wrong, sir.
Anyone have a unit?
The victim was then detained and taken to the hospital where he was treated for a facial fracture. Rochester Police Department fired Officer Sipple for his actions and subsequently charged him with misdemeanor assault. However, a grand jury did not indict Officer Sipple's partner, Officer Spencer McAvoy. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren and Police Chief LaRon Singletary later spoke about the release of the body camera footage and the trust that they hope to build between the city, police officers, and the community. They said that the community and the police department needed to work together in order to combat crime, and that they needed the community to be able to trust them with not only information, but also with their conduct, to know that they were there to support them. They also said that if an officer went outside of their training, outside of what the department's expectations and what the book says, then the officer would be held accountable for that. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter